Hi everyone, it's time for another ranting video with Jamie. And the title of this video is going to be Mel Gibson. Why? Allow me to explain a little bit further. Mel Gibson, what do you have against the Latin language? What did it do to you? Did you fail Latin in high school? Did you try to take it in college but couldn't? Because what's going on with this? For reference, Mel Gibson directed both Braveheart and The Passion of the Christ, the latter of which actually inspired this video. In the movie of Braveheart, there's a part where William Wallace, played by Mel Gibson, gives this long speech in Latin. Actually, it's not too long, maybe a sentence. Actually, it's just a sentence, but it's a long sentence. Anyway, there's no verb. Went over this in Latin class. My professor wrote out the whole thing on the board, said, "What's wrong with this?" We spotted right away, no verb. This was halfway through Latin 1, so we'd only been doing it for 2 months tops. Couldn't have anyone come and look over this, edit it, say, hey, you're not actually saying a sentence, you might want to fix this type of thing. Alright, and moving on to the Passion of the Christ. You know something is wrong when somebody who took Latin for 4 semesters, which is 2 years total in college, can't distinguish when they're speaking the Aramaic versus the Latin, and the only way you can tell is because the Romans are speaking to each other, so you know they're speaking Latin. Seriously, what's going on? For example, here is some of the errors you made. Number 1, there's a part where one of the generals, I forget what his name is, Adherbal or something, I don't know, don't quote me on that, is talking to Pontius Pilate, and Pontius goes, "What's up? Why are they all mad at Jesus and stuff?" And the general goes, "Well, they hate him." Here's the thing. The general, the word for hate in the verb is odi. The general said odimus. Mus is the first person plural meaning. So what the general actually said was, we hate him. Not they, we. I don't know if this is some attempt by Mr. Gibson to do some subtle nod where people who understand Latin would be like, oh, the Romans hate him too. Which would be a little understandable because at this point, the priests are all like, wow, let's kill him. And they're like, dude, you didn't do anything wrong. And they're like, crucify him. And they still keep saying no. So I'd be getting a little mad at this guy too. But the more likely reason is that you didn't even check this. Your budget was $30 million. Couldn't have somebody just read over this, give a good answer, fix all your errors. Then the other thing is the pronunciation. You were using Church Latin, which is okay. Church Latin's understandable, it's accepted for whatever reason, but not in 30 AD. The church didn't even exist yet. You couldn't have used Church Latin in the first place. So all those V's you used were W's. All the C's were K's. So you're not saying veritas, it's veritas. And the weirdest thing is, they kept saying Caesar, which is correct. But I guess since it's Caesar and everybody knew Caesar, and it's more common, they would know how to say Caesar correctly. But everything else was wrong. It was really, really bad. Every time they were speaking Latin, I was just hanging there, sitting there with my mouth hanging open. What are you doing to this language? Seriously, $30 million budget. Latin 2 student could have fixed all these errors, told you how to properly pronounce everything from the time period. But no, you just did it this way. which I understand because most people don't know Latin and they won't know that you're horribly, horribly wrong. But to us who do know Latin, it makes us cringe. It makes me hate you just a little bit more. A little bit more. Because you won't fix Latin. It's not that hard. Okay? Yes, sometimes the grammar gets weird. In word order, just do whatever you want and you're good. But basics, proper plurality and person of a verb, not that hard to do. Most must isn't. It's it's just simple. And this could have been an easily fixed. But it wasn't. And it makes me so mad. Because you could have done so much more. But you just Mel Gibson, why do you hate Latin? Just why?